Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Vaibhav Shetty Experience Beyond the Gloves. And today we have live with us from Bangalore, representing Phenomenal MMA Academy, Raj Viperide, or as he likes to call himself, the South Coast Gangster. So I'm just waiting for him to join in the stream. But Raj has been a fighter who's been fighting in the regional scene for the last 3 years or so. Uh, he was in line for an opportunity at the WKN title a couple of years ago when Frank Monk was putting across his events, but he ended up being injured at the time and we could not put him on the card. He is, however, back on the scene and he had a fight scheduled uh, just a few days from now. However, his opponent pulled out due to an eye injury, so we won't be able to see him in action uh, in the immediate future. But looks like he is back onto the scene. He is trying to get back to winning ways, and I'm hoping to get him to join us and talk to us a little bit more about his journey. And he's joined us now. Hi, Raj.
Hi, bro.
Hey,
Hello.
perfect.
Can you see
We now
me
have Raj.
properly?
We can see you perfectly. Yeah.
1 second.
The lighting is
Okay,
all
perfect.
good. Okay, perfect. So
Yeah,
there
yeah,
you are.
bro, good.
Oh, is that great? And are you sitting next to Sadhguru's photo?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, bro. It's
Okay,
called,
okay.
I set up a small sanity at home. So, this is where we people meditate at home.
Mhm.
Stuff like that.
Okay, okay, great. So yeah, Raj, thank you again for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me, bro.
My pleasure, bro. So I was just telling people that you've been a very active fighter in the regional scene for the last few years, and in fact, we were in conversation to get you a WK title fight, but back
Yeah,
when we
yeah.
were under discussion, you were actually injured, so we could never really pull the trigger on that.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're back on the scene now. Injury is all recovered.
Yeah, yeah, bro. It took like around 18 months to recover from that. Actually, I had the injury from last 7, 8 years. It was constantly, it
Hmm.
used to dislocate and then I had to just work with that. And then finally fixed it up. And then after the injury, I took one fight also against Mukul Kashyap.
Okay,
Even I won the
right.
fight the first round, and yeah, now back in the fights.
Okay, great. Raj, your network I think is a little off, so we lost you a little bit over there. But from what I understand, you took up a fight immediately after injury and you won that fight, right?
Yeah, yeah. After the injury, I fixed it with the level surgery, and it will be like 18 months to recover completely. So after that, I took the
Got
fight. I won that fight as well, and yeah, yeah, now back into fighting again.
it. Okay, perfect. And you had a fight that was coming up now, but from what I see in your social media, that fight is no longer going ahead.
Yeah, bro, that guy got injured in his eye, so he fought against Krishna Kamath, and he got a punch probably or elbow. I don't know. Didn't see the video yet, but he pulled out the fight in a very short notice. So even the promoters couldn't fix any other opponent, proper one. So it's out. It's off now.
Oh, so unfortunately, we won't be able to see you back in action anytime soon. But hopefully, some other promotion or maybe the same promotion gets a fight very soon for you. So I'm
Mostly I'll be
hoping to see
fighting
you
the
back
next
in the
month, bro.
cage.
Yeah, yeah. So next month I'll be fighting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. It's a promotion in Kerala. So even that is
Uh-huh.
under talks. And even WTS is the Dream Warrior series. DWS. Yeah.
Hmm.
So even there I might be fighting. Or even
Brilliant.
the
So
MFN
everybody, just MFN.
contender
Oh,
is
okay.
up. No, no. MFN contender series is happening. So I might fight
Right.
in that as well. Let's see how it goes.
Okay.
Just one
Brilliant.
of the
So
active
yeah,
fights
let's
now.
hope. Right. Right.
So
I
yeah,
understand.
yeah,
So so we spoke to Edo Kondal, maybe a few weeks back, and he did mention that
yeah.
he got into MMA with you, and both of you were together before MMA in Taekwondo school. So could you let me know a little bit
Yeah.
more about how you started your martial arts journey?
So, bro, actually, in my home, my uncle used to wrestle, my dad used to wrestle. So, as a
Uh-huh.
kid, that's what their game used to like wrestle with me and then wrestle with me and all this kind of thing. That's how martial arts started from the very young age. So, as there was a lot of wrestlers at home, we used to wrestle, and that was not exciting for me at that point of time. There was one, used to go with all Bruce Lee movies and Jackie Chan movies and things like that, and like it's right. And we used to watch those series, and I used to practice moves by myself. And that's the time I came up
Okay.
with one one demonstration team called K Tigers. It stands for Korean Tigers. So I was not able to do those things. They should do the fancy kicks like the 360-degree, 540-degree jumps and spins and kicks like that. So that's why I wanted to join Taekwondo. This was when I was 6 years old.
Okay.
And I joined one
Okay.
local
Wow.
class. Yeah, there was near my house. There was one Taekwondo class. I joined there, did it for a while, and then again got busy with school and this and that. Like people used to tell like, oh, you have to go to tuitions and this and that. So not getting time for that as well. And later on, I joined a place called Deccan Taekwondo Academy. It's with Master Rachel Mutapasar. That's where I started like properly training. That's where I met Edu. Like I was training for 6, 7 years by
Okay.
then, and then Edu came in there. So we met there. Right at that
Mhm.
point of time itself, I had this thing like Taekwondo is like I kind of felt like the rules and things is like limiting my skills, like my ability to do what I can do in martial arts. Like no punches to face, no takedowns, no wrestling. I was no grappling, nothing there, just kicks. So, anyways, it's great. When you start up with a traditional martial art, it helps you with other aspects of martial arts as well. Like you learn your footwork, you get that precision and timing and a lot of discipline and things like that. But I wanted to do more. I wanted to have like I was always drawn to like real fight scenarios.
Okay.
So even at those days, we should just talk with Edu and we people should talk about like okay, we have to do this thing. That's something like yours. These things are cool. We just watch the videos and things like okay, we have to fight this thing, and that's how it
Mhm.
started. Then I joined
Oh,
Cult
nice.
first.
Uh-huh.
It was Cult, the workout station back then, not the Cult Fit.
Yeah.
So they were having a fight team plans and things like that. So me, Lionel, Greg DeCosta, we people were there in the gym first. So that's where I started. I joined as assistant trainer. As I was the open international fighter in Taekwondo, I directly joined as assistant trainer
Hmm.
in Cult.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's where I got exposed to uh, other martial arts as well. First started training
Right.
with Lionel Belusi and
Uh-huh.
then Greg, people like that.
Right.
And later on we started with Rama Reddy sir also.
Right.
So that's how
Yeah. So
the journey started with grappling.
nice. I think Cult got that culture into Bangalore, although it's not doing it anymore ever since it became a big brand. But the workout station at
Yeah,
Sarjapur Road, I guess that's the one
yeah,
which
yeah,
really got that fight culture into Bangalore.
yeah. Though back in those days, Relum was there. What was that? Fitness Fight Club something, FFC.
Yes.
FFC
Yes.
used to be
You're right.
there, ICSA used to be there, and Cult was really good with the promotion and branding and things like that. So they got attraction there.
Right. Right. Oh, that is good to hear. So because even when I started my journey, it was through cult, and it was just to lose weight. And there I met people like Kamal, like
Oh,
Asif,
yeah,
like Sachin Panwar, and Sachin was at that time fighting in SFL,
yeah, yeah,
and I had no idea what SFL was. So yeah, even for me, the
yeah.
exposure was cult at that point of time. But you were there even
Okay,
before I probably joined. You were possibly there in
yeah, bro.
2014-15. When were you there? 2014-15 or so? Can you hear me, Raj? Hello? Raj, can you hear me? Okay, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah. And then
Okay.
we started, me and Greg, when Cult stopped with MMA,
Uh-huh.
we went to a program called Budapest.
Okay.
I think the network is bit low from my side. One
Okay.
second, bro. I'll just open up the window. Give me a sec. I think
Okay,
network is
sure.
bit low.
Okay, sure, sure. We'll
Yeah,
wait
yeah,
for you.
now I can. Tell me. One
Okay,
one
that's
second, bro.
beautiful.
1 second. I'll just not 1 second. Yeah, yeah, bro. I can. In between, there is a lot of disturbance. Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, but there seems to be a lot of lag
Hello.
in between.
Yeah, bro, can you hear
So
me?
let me do one thing,
Am I
Raj.
audible?
Raj, I'm gonna disconnect you and reconnect you back just to make sure. So yeah, hopefully Raj will reconnect and we can get rid of this network difficulty. I think he's using his mobile network, and unfortunately, because of that, we're not able to hear him as well. So we'll just wait for him to join back, and hopefully that will work out for us. So let me just try and get him back. So we're just waiting for Raj to join back, ladies and gentlemen. So just please have a little bit of patience. But as Raj was saying, for those of you who do not know what Cult is, Cult right now is owned by Mukesh Bansal, and it's become a household name across India as far as group fitness and group training goes. But back in the days, there was the first gym was in a place called Sarjapur Road, and that is the place that Raj was talking about, where initially when they did start, it was more intense, and they had a lot of real fighters teaching people MMA, jiu-jitsu, and even boxing at that point of time. So welcome back, Raj. I was just telling people a
Hello.
little bit more about Cult.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Yeah,
Yeah, so I think there was a lot of lag between us. So whatever I was probably telling
yeah,
you
yeah,
was coming to you a minute or two late.
yeah, bro. Yeah, now it's fine.
Right. So what I was saying is, so Cult, you must have joined them around 2014, 2015. That duration.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And then when I
Right.
stopped with MMA, we start. Me and Greg went to a.
Uh-huh.
It was the Tiger Muay Thai competition. They had something called Budapur in Bangalore. It was a program, outings program. So they used to send trainers to the other places, and there we used to take classes.
Okay.
That is when they
Right.
have arranged a place for the trainers to train. That's how I got connected with Ramas.
Right. Right.
That's when we
And
met
that was
also.
your first exposure to jiu-jitsu. Exactly. Yes, that's where we met. You're right. Yeah.
No, first it was blind album.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I joined
Got
Cult.
it.
I trained for Jiu-Jitsu like 7, 8 days. And the next weekend, there was some state level
Uh-huh.
competition in Jiu-Jitsu. That one I fought.
Right.
I got a silver medal in that. Because I had a like a idea of grappling because I should grapple at home, like my uncle, my dad, and things like
Right.
that. So I just
Hmm.
did not know how to submit people and things like that. I was good at wrestling at that time.
Right.
So yeah, so somehow it worked out.
Okay. And then you switched over to starting your own team as well. How did that come around? The phenomenal MMA
Yeah.
team.
So first I was working in Budo, and Budo also shut it down. Then I started working in Kia, which is in Sarjapur Road as well as HSR and Indranagar. I used to take Muay Thai classes over there. But the thing is, first you think like it's just martial arts field only we are working on, and we'll take morning sessions and evening sessions, then we'll fight as well. But that doesn't work like that. What happens is when you have schedules for morning and evening sessions, when you want to push yourself that little more, that 1, 2 rounds extra when you want to do, your mind will be telling, no, I have a class for the evening, I have a class for tomorrow morning, I should not push myself that much, like we should stop it right here, something. So even though you're working as a coach, if you're working as a full-time coach, I mean, like morning sessions and evening sessions, it's very hard to find
Right.
time for yourself to train.
Right. Got it.
So that point of time, I got to know like, okay, if I'm doing this thing, I will not be able to fight properly. I will not be able to train the way I have to train, things like that.
Hmm.
So first we thought
Hmm.
uh, we'll have a small studio kind of place where we'll just train a little bit, just for my fights. So first
Hmm.
we did not think we'll have like a big academy and we'll get people into that and we'll train people. First I thought we'll keep it very small, just like a fight camp. Get a couple of guys who
Right.
want to train with us and we'll focus on the fights itself. We just wanted to focus on fighting.
Okay.
So that's when
Right.
we had Edu, we had Pratap, Rocky, with a couple of guys we started with training together.
Right.
But then people started coming in. We thought, okay, fine, we can have the morning sessions and evening sessions as well. And
Yeah.
we'll keep a very workload as a trainers in phenomenal. Even till date, we keep it very light. So we have multiple trainers. We don't put one trainer and ask them to do the morning sessions and evening sessions. Like maybe they hardly take 2 to 3 hour sessions and they focus on their fights.
Okay. Right.
So this is one
Right.
thing we did for a fight team guys. Like see in India when you're fighting you don't get any sponsors or things. So you have to work something to run the show. So that's
Right.
why we have the trainers who actually want to fight. So we give
Right.
them very less amount of workload and we have a fight team training where we all together and then people go and take
Mm,
sessions. That's what we wanted to do.
mhm.
We're doing that.
Right. Perfect. And some of your fighters have done very, very well. Especially when we did the WKN qualifiers. And I remember the first WKN kickboxing cup that I organized for the WKN India title belts.
Yeah.
Edu Kondal, he qualified just because of that spectacular win against uh, who was that
Roop,
person I forgot from Koi. Roop Jyoti. Yeah.
Roop
So
Jyoti,
he
I think.
defeated Roop in the first. Yeah, Roop Jyoti. He defeated Roop Jyoti in the
Yeah,
first
yeah, yeah.
event, and because of that, he qualified. And then Rocky also qualified, and we had Pratap who qualified,
Yeah, yeah,
and they all did very well, and all three were in lines for the WKN title.
yeah,
And Edukondal actually won it again, a spectacular fashion. Unfortunately, his opponent could not come out after the first round, and
yeah.
Edu looked like he barely broke a sweat.
So that's what the thing though. Like when you are with scoring game systems, like when you fight in a system where you have a scoring, so you can't afford to get hit. You
Right,
can't afford to give the point. That's where you get that
right,
head movement, footwork, and things like that. So you don't get injured much.
right,
So when you start something with like a karate or a taekwondo background, this is one advantage. Like it's not
right,
like you're just trying to hit the person. You're also first thing is like you don't get hit because you can't afford to give
right,
the points.
right.
Those are the games with this point systems based, right? So that's one advantage. Like
Oh,
even
that is
in my fights, I usually don't get hit.
right. That is a very unique point to bring up because, to be honest, in my when I've seen people from traditional martial arts come to MMA, uh, a lot of people struggle to transition. But people like you, people like Edu, they've taken the aspects that really works, like not getting hit. And I didn't think of this in the past, but now that you mention it, it makes so much sense. The way you move, the way Edu
Yeah,
Kondal moves. Yeah, I guess that's a lot of your taekwondo background coming in.
yeah, bro. Even in my grapplings also, even the footwork and the distance covering, distance management works a lot.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
that is amazing.
yeah, yeah.
Right. So, so you had a grappling background. Edu Kondal obviously does not, but and most of his fights seem to be striking based. But how do you manage when you train with the fight team? How do you manage each person's strength and each person's weakness? How do you do that? Do you have a system in place, or do you just go with what your instinct tell you?
No, no. The thing is, when I work differently in the fight camps as well as the fight training throughout the year. So when we are working on the
Okay,
fight training throughout the year, we work on new things like what is the things that we have to improve in this guy. But when you go for a fight camp wise, we don't do that. We just see what this guy is good at and we just work on different aspects to pull that thing. Like different kind of setups, different kind of follow-ups. Just if a Edu is a striker, so we just work on landing the kicks in offensively, defensively, in counter striking and different ways like that. So again, Edu don't like
right.
grappling that much. So he
Uh
likes to
huh.
do striking. And anyways, it's all good as long as it's working.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So from your mindset point of view, as a fighter versus a corner or a coach, how different is it for you?
Uh, as a fighter, like it gives you the freedom. Like you are only fighting, so you have your game plan. You want to do the things that you want to do the way you want to do. But as a corner or as a coach, you have to adjust to the fighter according to the fighter, like whatever his comfort zone is. Like some people are really good with
Right.
grappling, some people are good with striking. Also, just because as a fighter, I like to grapple more. I like the submissions. Uh, I like more of the control based fight more than scramble based fights. So
Okay.
that I cannot
Hmm.
implement on other guy. Like that I usually don't do. So whatever they are good at, I just built a game plan based on opponent. First we study the opponent. Like we think like okay, what are these
Uh-huh.
guys doing? We put a lot of time studying the opponent. First thing we do the homework there.
Okay.
First one, and then we work on every camp. We have different game plans. Every camp we change it. Like we don't keep the same thing. Sometimes based on the opponent, we just keep working accordingly. And that's also we
Hmm.
according to the opponent and according to our fighter as well, not only based on the opponent. So that's the one thing which is interesting as a coach or as a cornerman. So here sometimes I would as a fighter I myself might do something else, but that fighter might the fighter who is fighting he might not be comfortable doing that. So first you have to read like okay what this guy is good at, and then we work
Uh-huh.
on that toward the game camp. And whenever he is fighting, we just
Okay.
call what he is comfortable doing it. So that adjustment you need to do according to the fighters.
Okay. Got it. Perfect. So, what has been? I mean, as a fighter, you fought so many matches. What's been your favorite match so far?
Sahil Rana's fight, the way my shoulder came out. So
Why your shoulder came out? Okay.
yeah,
Tell
so
me more. I need to know more. Yeah.
before that I fought a guy called Vijay Singh Baroya. So I fought in a rope he slammed me down and my shoulder came out. So that I be like okay, that was my mistake. He slammed me down, the shoulder was out. With Sahil that nothing happened. I tried to read his leg, I tried to take his back. All the process I wanted to clear his right leg, left leg, sorry. I was just pushing the leg out and my shoulder came out and just fell down. So that fight I could not even continue.
Oh,
I'm not taking anything from my
okay.
opponent. He won the fight, so I'm not taking anything. But
Mhm.
they somewhere feel like okay, I lost the fight, but my opponent did not beat me. That feel somewhere
Right.
it's always there.
Okay.
So obviously he won the fight, no doubt about that. But I think that's the one fight I lost with where my opponent did not do anything to beat me. Like first of all,
Okay.
there's two things to this. Most people know when they have a small injuries, like maybe a cramp, maybe something, they choose not to fight. That's really a very professional
Right.
approach to do that. But I had this posterior rotator cuff dislocation. So it was I lost
Mhm.
27% of bone in that. With that I used to fight. So when I used to
Oh,
fight, yeah. So I used to use like 30% of my striking because I can't use my punches. If I throw my right, it will come out. If I block, it will come out. And even in
okay.
grappling, I used to use 60% of my grappling because I cannot put overhooks with right hand. The moment the shoulder goes over the shoulder level, elbow goes over the shoulder level, it used to come out. So I used to make a lot of adjustments
Okay.
and fight. So in that,
Okay.
taking a fight is not that good idea if you see in one way. But in other way,
Right.
I absolutely like that. Like it improves your confidence to the next level. When my shoulder is back, my confidence is even more. Like I can say that okay, with even with one shoulder, I am able to. I was ready to take fights. I was winning fights as well, and now the shoulder is
Right.
also fine. So it gives you the confidence. Like okay, fine. Even with one shoulder, you are doing that good. So now with the other shoulder, you will be doing much better.
Okay. What did your family have to say about it? I mean, did your family know that you're fighting with an injury?
Yeah, yeah. Everybody knew. So this injury started from my taekwondo days. What used to happen is in those days
Oh,
when
okay.
we were doing demo, yeah, you used to do
Uh-huh.
gymnastics. The conditioning
Okay.
was taekwondo conditioning, but the moves were gymnastic moves. So that's where the problem has started. It was a wear and tear. Slowly, because of the handstands and because of the flips, slowly it started tearing. Once I was doing a wall
Oh,
salt, I
okay.
fell down straight and shoulder came out.
Okay.
And yeah, there
Right.
was a lot of people around there asking what. I was like, no, no, nothing. I just pulled it back myself and we go back to the line and start drilling that.
Right.
So those days, when it happens, first of all, you don't want to go and get surgery because there was a lot of misconceptions around. They will tell like, okay, if you get surgery, you will not be able to fight also. You might fight, you might not.
Right.
This is in 2008, 2009, those days.
Right.
I was very young as
Okay.
well. Yeah. So those days they will tell, oh, if you go to surgery and things like that, you might not be able to fight this lot of things. So people usually
Right.
tell, if there is a dislocation, they will tell you, okay, work on your muscles. You have to just strengthen those muscles. You have to work on this exercise, that exercise, and it will be fine.
Right.
So that is one of the things. Like people, when they have a small injury, they have to go and get it done, and it will be much easier. If I had got it done at that point of time, the surgery also would have been very minor surgery. Just they have to
Uh-huh.
fix the
Right.
ligament. But right now, because of
Right.
it went on for like 7, 8 years of serious thing, and it was before that as well. But 7, 8 years, it was very serious. It used to suddenly come out and I used to pull it back.
Okay.
So that was one
Wow.
big mistake. So if any athlete, anybody who's having any kind of injury, first thing is that you have to address it. And it will be much easier for you because later on, you're going to address it anyhow, you're going to address it, but in a worse manner.
Right, right. So, yeah, an athlete, especially the wear and tear is so common, and if you don't take
Yeah,
care of it early enough, it's going to be a lot worse. Because I don't know
yeah,
if you know, but apparently Kumaru Usman, he's like a great
yeah,
fighter,
yeah,
right, in the UFC, one of the best welterweights out there.
yeah,
But
yeah,
they say outside of the fight camp, he finds it difficult to even walk stairs
yeah, yeah,
because his knees are all worn out. So, as a fighter, even regular training will wear your joints and everything out. And if you have an injury and you don't take care, that's going to get so much worse.
yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good advice for fighters. Do not neglect these small injuries.
And also the training approach should be also be perfect, bro. So in case if I were doing
Right.
gymnastics in a gymnastic class, if I were doing the gymnastic conditioning for gymnastic moves, nothing would have happened. Everything would have been fine. You see small
Right.
kids do crazy flips and they stand because that's what they train for. The conditioning is also based for gymnastic and they do gymnastic conditioning and they do gymnastic moves. We used to do taekwondo
Right.
conditioning and do gymnastic moves. That's one big problem. Usually when you're
Right.
doing a lot of conditioning for Muay Thai and
Uh
suddenly you
huh.
go and wrestle, you're going to break something.
Yeah. True.
It doesn't work
That's
like
true.
that. So that's the thing. Like you have to properly schedule your conditioning, schedule your technical aspects, everything. Like you have to properly have go with the proper guidance with some expert. Just start
Right.
with it. Or nowadays you have everything on Google. Just go Google, find out something
Right.
and do. Just because sometimes we think okay, we are really good at Muay Thai, we have a lot of conditioning, and you try to do wrestling, it won't work.
Right.
You are good
Exactly.
at wrestling, it won't work in Muay Thai as well. You're going to get knocked out. So the conditioning
Right.
aspect is you have to focus on that, like properly focus on that. If your conditioning is good, if your training
Right.
approach is good, you're mostly not going to get injured.
Right. And between you and me, right? This is something I've noticed. Like especially when I train for MMA fights. Like if I train for jiu-jitsu, it's easy. I train only
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu. If I train for kickboxing, I know I train for striking and I can
yeah,
get my moves in. But when I'm training for MMA, sometimes if I focus
yeah,
too much on my striking, my grappling game goes down, even though I have the knowledge. And vice versa. If I work too much on my grappling,
yeah.
during the fight, I realize the striking is not up to par. How do you face that same issue, or is that not a problem for you?
Bro, first of all, when I'm working in the camp, I keep three different aspects. Like first, I work on conditioning, where conditioning is not
Right,
completely based on grappling or for striking. Conditioning, I work on the basic 8 things what we work on athletic conditioning. First, we work on general strength. Then we work on power, which is ability to generate force. Then we work on speed.
right,
Then we work on muscle endurance,
uh-huh,
which is lactic tolerance to keep bending for a longer period of time. Then we work on
right,
balance because too much of power and without balance, you're going to slip. You're going to miss that. You have to work on your
yes,
overall agility, flexibility. So when you work on this basic
right,
athletic conditioning, you just work on the different aspects of your body. Just look at the body as body like, okay, I want to generate force. I want to keep it grinding for a longer period of time. I have to do it fast. I have to have a good balance. I have to be flexible to do this. I need to have the cardiac endurance to go for this many rounds. These are the things to keep it in a place where you're working on conditioning. And then when you're
right,
working on grappling, you work only on grappling. Like you just try to work on the setups and first you start with striking because fight is going to start striking in MMA. So
right,
first of all, you should have a game plan. Like, okay, fine. First I want to outclass this guy in striking. I want to take him down. and then I'm gonna control the position. I wanna maybe ground and pound. I wanna use ground and pound to get the submission, something like that. So first you work on the
Right.
setup. First you work on the setup. Like, okay, how am I gonna cover distance with striking? Sometimes you're gonna cover distance offensively by you setting up and hitting and cover the distance. Sometimes he's gonna hit, you're gonna counter and cover the distance. Then you possess control over the guy, you imbalance him, take him down. So there are like different lot of techniques in each thing, but address these things as not by technique wise. Like address it as like you have to just address as the objectives.
Okay.
If you're taking a
Got
fight,
it.
okay, fine. If you're going at MMA fight, just think like, okay, fine. If I'm getting him on the striking, I'm gonna objective is to freeze him there, cover the distance, take him down. Once taken down, then you work on couple of scenarios in control base. Then you work on couple of ground and pound to open up the submissions. Then you work for submissions.
Right.
Similar things.
Right.
So we just don't want to like work on one aspect and think like, okay, fine. Today I'm doing boxing. Today I'm doing Muay Thai, I'm doing grappling. Do martial MMA in a most effective way. You can pull it off. Somehow you can pull it off. But that's not the most efficient way to do it.
Right. Hmm. Got it.
So overall, we
Okay.
have to address all the
So
aspects of the sport and get it. Yeah, bro. Sorry.
right. Right. So okay. So when it comes to conditioning, right? Traditionally, when you're into boxing or Muay Thai,
Yeah.
road work is very important. But when you look at MMA, a lot of very famous MMA fighters like Conor McGregor, he just
Yeah.
does not run.
Yeah.
And one of the reasoning he gave is when you run, your knees get short, and then you do jujitsu, and that wear and tear keeps adding on and on. So he prefers to do the elliptical. He prefers to do assault bikes. He prefers to do the rowing machine. What is your take on that philosophy?
So mostly Connor is telling maybe he is with a lot of experts nowadays, so he's not talking nonsense for sure. This
Uh-huh.
guy gets the right kind of people. So obviously that should be true. Even I don't run much. I don't run. Like even I do a lot of rowing and air bikes. I do a lot of circuit training. Even back in Taekwondo days, we do different circuit training. It is like HIIT.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these were the things we
Right.
should body weight training we should do in even in Taekwondo class. So I am much more comfortable with those things. I usually don't run. Like Edu people do a lot of running. I don't do run.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Um,
Uh-huh.
I like to do. I just mix it up. Sometimes I work on
Okay.
endurance. Sometimes I work on power things like that. But I don't usually run. I work on different kind of circuits.
Hmm.
So again, if somebody has access to all this corner stuff like McGregor Pass and equipments like that, it's better to go. If they don't have, it's not a problem. You can do a lot of different kind of things. Like you don't need this thing or that thing. So it's okay. You can somehow figure it out. Start with running. If you feel
Okay.
your knees giving up, it's not supporting you properly, then change it. That's it.
Got it. So just listen to your body. That's your advice. Okay.
Yeah,
Can you hear
yeah.
me? Okay. Yeah. Sure. So yeah, again, there seems to be some sort of lag over here, but hopefully, yeah, there won't be a lot more going ahead.
Hello.
Uh, yeah, can you hear me, Raj?
Yeah, yeah. Now I can tell me.
Okay, so yeah, there seems to be a lot of lag. Hopefully, that's out of the way. You can hear me clearly now.
You want me to rejoin again?
I think yes. I think you should rejoin again. Let me
Yeah, yeah.
just
I can hear
stop your
you.
feed. Let me stop your feed. Why don't you just rejoin again? That'll be better.
Hello.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we still have some technical difficulties with Raj. This happens sometimes with the mobile networks. If you do not have enough bandwidth, or if the network keeps going in and out, these lags do come in. So sorry about that, but we'll wait for Raj to join back, and hopefully this time we can complete the conversation. So I'm going to touch upon the topic of him cornering his fighters, because he did corner his fighters for a number of competition, including for the WKN title at Fragging Monk. And Edu Kondal did fight at the Matrix Fight Nights, which was not a great outing for him. But it'd be very interesting to see what Raj has to say about that outing. Edu shared his view. He thought his preparation was not good enough, and he overindulged himself in food he was not supposed to have. So let's see what Raj, as his corner, has to say about that. So we'll just wait for him to join back. Let me make sure he's able to. I can see him. He's not ready yet. He has joined in, and I think he is ready now. Yeah, we have him back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, Raj.
Hello. Sorry,
Yeah,
bro. The network is really bad.
that's okay. I'm just glad we're able to reconnect and complete this conversation. So yeah, one thing I wanted to talk to you about, and I think people want to know. Your fighters have fought in many good competitions. You know, you have cornered your fighters in Fragging Monk, and the of late you did go to Matrix Fight Nights as well with Edu Kondal, but that was not a great outing for Edu. So
Yeah, yeah,
how
bro.
could you let us know a little bit more about how you prepared Edu for Matrix Fight Nights and what happened out there?
So this time we thought like it also wanted to have we thought like we'll have a better exposure with getting different training partners for the
Okay,
fight was like really good because in our class everybody knows everybody's moves. Like we are like 6 7 people there, like keep training every day with the same person. So we have the comfort zone with each other while training.
right.
So we thought, okay, we should have a more training partners to bring in. So that's when we started training. We had our camp collaborating with Hoi
Hmm.
Combat, with Coach
Okay.
Cycle. So that's where we started, and training was pretty good there. It was very intense also. It was training every day.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It was doing really good before the fight, like really good. Even in the grappling aspect, in the scrambles, and even the striking, everything was doing good. I don't know what happened. Even from the
Right.
corner, I was telling him to set up and hit.
Hmm.
So he was not setting up anything. He was throwing whatever he wanted to throw. And when he got on the ground, he was not even trying to get up. I don't know.
Okay.
He says like he had a lot of sweets that day, and he did not want to fight something like that. Crazy guy.
Yeah, when I spoke to him, he told me the same thing. And I had a lot of sweets, and I was not in the right frame. I didn't feel energy, so I couldn't do my
Oh
best in the
God,
cage. So
this guy is damn
sometimes it
funny.
does happen.
Yeah,
Edu is the most unconventional fighter I have met, both in terms of fighting and the way he approaches the fight. So I love talking to him, and but it's amazing. Yeah, right. Yeah. So tell me from your point of view, as a fighter, where do you see yourself going over the next few years? What is your end goal?
so I want to fight in right now, trying to fight in one championship or something.
Okay.
So first thing is that I want to get because that's one of the legit promotions where you have the world titles.
Right.
Like there are a lot of other promotions also. They will be telling like, okay, we have a world champion here, but that is a world champion, no doubt about it. As long as a professional promotion and they're having international athletes in the roster, it's a world championship. But being a world champion in either UFC or one championship, that's a different thing.
Yes. Yes.
So
Right.
I want to fight in one for now because
Hmm.
even other thing is try to fight in Road to UFC 2 also last time. Um, even there you need the records and you need to be see even if you get into UFC also, I don't think UFC in operational way. I think one championship is much better than UFC.
Okay. Right.
In one, I would tell you one thing. In one or in Bellator or any other promotions, it's like you get the spots for what you're doing inside the ring in the cage.
Right. Right.
But UFC is not like that. It's about the star base. Like if you are getting in the pay-per-views, if you are getting putting the seats, like filling in the seats, that's where you get to. So even to get there to become that, you need to be a star somewhere else, like Michael Chandler.
Right. Yes.
So first you have to get to the promotions where they look at you for what you can do in the
Uh-huh.
cage. You have to
Right.
earn the spot, things like that. And if you're like a world champion, one championship or any other like Bellator or any other promotion, and then making the transition into UFC would be much better.
Got it. Got it.
But other,
Yeah.
so that's why I'm taking as many fights as possible right now
Right.
to get the records. Uh, Trying to fight the best fights possible, not only into the in terms of promotion, in terms of opponents as well. Like even
Okay.
saying the promoters were telling this guy pulled out, so you can fight any beginner. We can just put up a debut guy against you and things like that. So that's not what I actually want to do.
Right.
Like even if a fight, even the fight should be the fight should make sense. Not just because you're getting a main event into this promotion and that promotion, you will get one more win into that record. That's not how it works, at least for me. So
Right.
I want to take the good fights, like a fighter who is like really good enough to fight. I'm not telling a beginner is not good. Uh, Anybody can beat anybody up as long as two people are throwing punches. Anybody can knock out anyone. That's not the thing. Thing is, the fights that make sense, and even if you beat one guy, it has to get the ranking up and up.
Right.
So
Right.
that's the thing. I'm looking to fight as many fights as possible right now in any promotion where the fight is good, opponent is good, whatever the fights that make sense, I'll be
Hmm.
taking the fights. So get my record up till there, and then get into one championship or any other promotions. Make my way all the way, and then maybe get into UFC
Got it.
when it's the right time.
Perfect. So yeah, I hope
So
you're
by the
able to do
time,
that. Yeah.
yeah, by the time I finish my fighting career, I have
Hmm.
to finish it with at least two different weight class world titles.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a great goal to have. That's a great goal
yeah,
to have. Right.
yeah. I know there's a long way to
Best of
go.
luck with that.
Yeah, but unless
Hmm.
you know, this is what I tell for my students also. I tell them like you have to focus from now only. When you start a journey, it's not that you start your bike and then decide where you want to go. Day one
Right.
itself, you should know where you want to go. So that's the thing. There is a long, long journey I know ahead of me to reach there. But that's where I want to go. You should know that. You should believe. You should know that first. That's where you start the journey. That's where you're gonna go, however you want to go. So
Right.
that's the plan.
Right. Perfect. Great. So yeah, best of luck on that journey, Raj. So Raj,
Thank you.
one thing that is very important for fighters, apart from training and conditioning, is nutrition. How do you manage
Yeah.
that? Because all your fighters, they always make weight and they always fit. What is your plan? Do you have a nutritionist, or how do you guys plan your entire nutrition thing?
First of all, including me, nobody cuts much weight. So we
Okay.
just usually cut like 1 or 2 kgs, like slightly down, and then we fight in that weight class.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So
So
then
that is one
that's
thing.
not much. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So there are a couple of promotions. Even in one championship, they don't allow you to cut more than 50% of your 15% of your water weight.
Right. Right.
When people are one thing I think it's like really funny when people think like, okay, I have to cut this much weight to get into it's a fighting competition, but before that it becomes a weight cutting competition.
Right.
Like
Right.
who's cutting more weight? that's that's really bad for a fighter in a longer run as well.
Hmm.
And even in that fight performance, when you cut like more weight, you are
Hmm.
drained and everything. You will be almost close to getting hospitalized, and next day you're going to fight. And that's not a good idea. Also, I don't promote that. I don't do that. One
Okay.
thing is in our class, everybody like Edu is like 66, 67 something,
Uh-huh.
and he fought under 70 this time.
Okay. Wow.
So
So no
yeah,
cut. In fact, he had to just stay where he was and just fight to that weight. Okay. Wow.
yeah, yeah. So I would say like okay, 1 or 2 kgs it's fine. Like he can fight under 65 is okay. You are 66, 67, you can fight under 65 is okay. But if he
Right.
wants to come to 61, that's going to be a very hard cut. There you're going to need a lot of nutrition and this and that. And
Mhm.
this all is not for any good.
Right. Right.
You can
So yeah.
come on the scale, give the weight, but it's not good at all.
Okay. So yeah, one thing that I noticed after coming here, and this is something I had to do. Like even I used to not cut a lot of weight, but when I came to
Yeah,
the US, uh, and I told this to a couple of fighters, people earlier as well. The I fought a guy in New York kickboxing competition. Amazing guy, very
yeah,
respected.
yeah.
185 pounds. That's 84 kgs. but the guy was 6'5",
Yeah.
and then I
Okay.
suddenly realized that out here in the US, when people cut, the people I'm fighting are much taller and much bigger. So then I'm forced to cut weight out here because it's no longer competitive if it's a pure striking competition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if it was grappling, I could grapple the guy, and then height doesn't make a
Yeah. Yeah.
difference. But if it's
Yeah.
pure striking and he's 6 inches taller than me, there is
Yeah.
very little I can do to cover that distance. So yeah, out here it makes a lot more sense. But back in India, I was exactly like, don't cut too much, just cut one or two, and then just go with it. But
This is
I
the
guess it depends
thing,
on where
bro.
you fight. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
good.
so most of the promotions supports you. Most of the promotions is promoting that thing to they're allowing you to cut weight and do this. First of all, this is a this is not making any sense as a fighter at the first place.
Okay.
Thing is like you should be healthy and you should fight the guy who is of your weight class. So even there, if you're
Uh,
looking for shortcuts, like okay, I want to cut 10 kgs and then fight a guy who is like 10 kgs lesser to me, then the other guy is also doing the same thing.
right.
So everybody's doing the same thing. First thing is that what the initiative taken by one championship is really good. So they don't allow you to cut weight. They check you the
Okay.
hydration tests and things like that. So 15% of weight cut is good and not more than that. So this is a thing that every promotion should adopt.
Okay.
Not only in India,
So yeah,
even in
hopefully they
outside,
do.
everywhere if people adopt this, yeah, then the people will be fighting their weight class people only.
Right. Right. So yeah, hopefully they're able to do this
Yeah,
because this culture seems to come from wrestling and boxing, and out there people do cut a lot more than people do in MMA.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But yeah, let's see how it goes. If that's the culture, maybe it's here to stay. But yeah, it does impact the fight in the long run. It's not the best thing to do.
yeah, bro.
Yeah, right. So we've almost spoken for an hour, Raj. So thanks again for joining. And before I sign
Thank you,
off,
bro.
is there any advice you want to give the fighters and the people who are listening in?
Okay, so when you're a fighter, you're just starting with. Most people think like, okay, fine. I need to start with one background and whichever your background is, and then you want to work based on that. It's a cool thing to do. But if you're not training anything, if you're just starting up, try to keep a good balance between grappling and striking both. So don't be on either side. If you want to fight MMA, you have to fight MMA. So you don't want to be a striker who's fighting MMA, or you don't want to be a grappler who's fighting MMA. You have to be a fighter at the first
Right.
thing. And other thing is like in India or in any remote parts of the places, and even in big towns also, like lot of people don't get the right kind of training because they most people if they're starting if they're beginners they some people won't be able to afford that as well. So there are very few gyms
Right.
where they say like if you join there they teach you everything, but there are some gyms they will take you like if you're coming for striking you have to pay different fees. If you're coming for grappling you have to pay different fees. Coach is very necessary but not compulsory. That is the
Okay.
person you have to always try to know. A coach is like somebody who's trying to help you learn, but he's not making you learn. You are the one who's learning. So for learning, you need some source to learn. To accumulate some knowledge, you need some source, and that source can be a person, that can be a video, that can be your real life experiences, lot of things.
Right.
So it is always good go join somewhere, get under the professional guidance. If you are lacking that, if you are not able to get access to that, you have everything right now on phone and this and that. You can just watch and you can drill it up slowly, and then you can work it up. Most of my training, I never went with a proper kind of apart from my taekwondo training. I didn't go for any long period of training with any under any coach.
Okay.
So most of my training and whatever I do in grappling or in striking, most
Hmm.
of the things, especially in grappling, it's Eddie Bravo, John Danaher. These are the guys who teach me.
Wow.
So online training is really effective. It
Hmm.
depends on how with how much intensity you're learning it, with how much attention you're paying that to do. And first you learn these things and you just drill this couple of times, you're gonna get it.
Right.
Even we are planning to start up with a channel.
Okay.
So
To
when
teach
we
people.
started Phenomenon,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. So instructional videos, and we'll be covering all the aspects like grappling, striking, as well as conditioning also.
Okay. And this will be on
So
YouTube.
first, Yes, it will be on YouTube. First, we thought,
Okay.
first of all, my plan was on weekends, I wanted to go and take classes for free in orphanages or in slums and kids like that. So, just
Right.
wanted to take a free classes like that. But
Okay.
even for that, there was we had to put in the money, we have to send the trainers there and this and that. Financially, we were not able to afford that.
Right.
So, then later on, I wanted see most of my trainings, whatever I learned, I did not pay for them. Mostly, I did not pay. I just learned it for free.
Okay.
So even when I was taking taekwondo classes, apart from when I was like 13 years old, I never paid any fees. I used to lead the class wherever I take the class. That class I used
Mhm.
to lead. And when I was 17 years old, I started teaching and I started getting salary also.
Okay.
So I always had the plan for teaching for free.
Okay.
But right now, I'm also financially, I'm also not in that state where I can put my money and teach somebody.
Right.
So that is where we came up with the YouTube channel thing, where I am giving, where the other person is getting it for free, but I am not giving it for free.
Right.
Like once the channel grows, you will be making money through the channel or something like this, and
Yes.
you'll be having your brand endorsements and this and that lot of things. So this is one thing we wanted to work on.
Mhm.
Soon we'll be uh, open with the channel.
Perfect. So best of luck on that. Everybody, just keep an eye out. So when the Phenomenal MMA channel
Thank
comes
you.
out, that should be the one place stop for all of you to get free training resources. So we look ahead to that. So thanks a lot, Raj, for joining. And this was a wonderful
Thank you
talk.
so much for having me, bro.
Great.
Thanks, bro. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bye.
And yeah, good day. And for everybody watching, stay tuned for next week. We'll have a new guest next week again. And again, thanks, Raj, and take care.
Thank you, bro. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye.